fat phobic people out there, even in the queer community. I was a go-go dancer at a pride party, and the amount of money that I made versus the amount of money that the thin people made was not the same. Sometimes people don't even feel comfortable like putting the money in my underwear, but people are like really awkward with like, should I touch you? Should I? And I see them fully touching other people. So those are little reminders that people still have a lot of work to do around their fat.
I have been griping about this since I learned how to speak, or learned the term phobia. You know what a phobia is? It's a deep irrational fear of something. Now, how that got twisted to mean if your preference is not what I am offering, therefore you don't want what I have, you are then debilitatingly afraid of that. The word has never made sense. Homophobia, transphobia, this new thing of fat phobia, which I won't make that joke, but you know, maybe fat phobia makes sense. Maybe they're gonna eat me. I don't know. But the idea of phobia as a term in general used to mean something. It used to mean that this is a fear that you have that is debilitating, and it does not allow you to be able to function properly. That's what a phobia was. Something scared you so much that you could not properly function. And somehow that word, probably for political gain, has been morphed into this thing to say, if you don't like something, or it is not your first preference, your first choice, then that thing you now have a phobia of. This unfortunately, this lady as a go-go dancer did not make as much money as the slimmer, more trim, more desirable go-go dancers. Maybe my stance here is get rid of all go-go dancers, but just in this context, I understand that preference choice. I understand the preferential treatment that the go-go dancers who are more in line with what society has deemed as desirable get more money for doing that thing because more people have a preference. To then say that the only reason that somebody might have a preference towards this or that is because of a debilitating fear is just misuse of a vocabulary word. That's, I think, my biggest problem with that. Well, you know, I have lots of problems with everything going on here. And again, I am not a fan of you punks who keep making me watch this sort of stuff. But I think the bigger problem is this idea of phobia. If words lose their meaning, what are we doing as a society, as a culture, as a group of people trying to communicate particular ideas through language? If that language twists and morphs its way into something that it doesn't mean, but not all of society has gotten on board with the fact that it doesn't mean this anymore, where are we? How can we communicate with each other without making everybody upset all the time? And maybe that's probably the cause of why everybody is upset all the time. But the idea to have a preference, and then that preference leads somebody else to call you the same thing that they call people that hate something, because that's also been used term. You're a bigot if you're a something phobic. Something phobic, you're now a hateful person. Yeah, that's going to create some pretty big problems. And I'm talking 30,000 foot view here. We're not even really commenting on this young lady's unfortunate experience in not receiving as many tips as, again, the societally more desirable people. That's my gripe. My gripe is with the word phobia. It has been misused. It has been morphed into to mean something that it is not. And that is an overarching problem with society who is trying to communicate things in a world where things are necessary to communicate, but if the language doesn't match up with what the definition is and what it means in someone's head, we are going to have bigger problems. Not as many problems as the tax person for this person. As, you know, not a lot of stuff to declare, unfortunately. But, well, that's that.